screens 3. We started out with Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving represented healing, because when we give thanks, we truly are being healed within. That attitude of gratitude is healing. And that moved us into Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, which started today, which represents the sharing of our gifts. And we all have many gifts to share. And that moves us into New Year's, which is coming upon us very soon. New Year's is about gaining a vision of what gifts we are going to share into the next 365 days. So back on that second Sunday of the month, I invited you to begin the process to set your intention, if you were here then, to set a vision for what you want to experience in 2021 and 2022. Not a New Year's resolution, because I don't do New Year's resolutions, but an intention for the year. So the intentions take us a little bit deeper than, setting New Year's resolutions, which I never kept, so I don't do them. So a greater vision of who you are, a greater vision of how your life can unfold in this coming new year. It really always feels like a really new beginning. And we start the month usually of January with our basic teachings of New Thought, Science of Mind, which will begin next week. But for now, we want to set the intention for 2022. And today is that day that I spoke of 2 weeks ago. So on this, the last Sunday of 2021, we will pause into the present and receive the gifts of clarity, focus, and intention to set the direction for our year. The Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland said, "If you don't know where you're going, any which way would take you there." Yogi Bear told us, "If you don't know where you're going, you will wind up somewhere else." And it's the truth. We don't set an intention. Ernest Holmes, on a little bit more serious note, in Science of Mind textbook wrote, "As we bring ourselves to a greater vision, we induce a greater concept and thereby demonstrate more of our experience. The way to proceed is to begin right where you are." So that's where we're going to begin today. And we are going to do a process, an interactive process this morning, because we're going to vision. We're going to do the process of visioning as part of this service. So visioning, we have 5 questions usually that bring us into that whole openness and awareness to allow the infinite wisdom of God to flow through us, to guide our every vision, and how these 5 questions will direct us. We're going to learn how to set, we're going to set a clear intention this morning. So in your bulletin, you all have a piece of paper, and that paper has our 5 questions. And our ushers, if you do not have a pen, will be handing out pens to you. So we'll wait for the ushers to hand out. If you need a pen, raise your hand. Yay! Pen's pen. Okay. All right, and as I take us into this, so I'm going to get us a little centered first. The beautiful Sharon Bousquet is going to lead us in this visioning process. So let's just begin by taking that breath of openness. Just breathe in, close your eyes. With each of these questions, I invite you to pause after the question as the music will continue, and write down as you're guided. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. There could be a word, it could be a whole stream of consciousness, it could be a picture, it could be nothing. Nothing might come through now, but it will come through. So let's begin by just allowing that infinite wisdom to flow through us. Breathe in that wisdom, that beautiful wisdom that is divine, that is within, that is everywhere. And breathe in the clarity of thought that allows us to let go of every little doubt, fear, interference, and just be open to the moment. Just be open to the moment. And we're going to begin this process now. So the very first question, and think about it and then write it down, is, and we're changing it around for this very first question. What am I grateful for in my life in the past year? What am I grateful for in this past year? And those at home can join us too. As we write this down, we know that we can finish this up when we're in the comfort of our own home also. You have the questions. Leads us into the second question. What is God's highest idea, vision, intention for my life in 2022? God's highest idea, vision for my life in 2022. Do not censor it, let it flow. And our third question. To enable this vision to manifest in my life, I must fully embrace the following qualities. To allow this vision to manifest in my life, I must embrace the following qualities. moves us to the fourth question. To enable this vision to manifest, what must I release? In order to enable this vision to manifest, what must I release? To our fifth question. Is there anything else I need to know? Open yourself up to that higher intelligence. Is there anything else that I need to know in order for this vision to manifest? That's our shortened visioning. Can go longer. You can repeat it every day in your life, but thank you, Sharon. Okay. Does anyone have anything that came through that they feel like sharing? Anyone in the room? Briefly? Yes. Talk loud.
Number 5, what else do I need to know? And I put how to continuously love myself in my journeys.
Beautiful. The last one was, I wish we had a microphone for you. In order to receive and
how to continuously love myself in my journey in this life.
how to continue to love herself. I'll shorten that. And isn't that the most incredible gift we can possibly give to ourselves? To really learn how to deepen and love who we are. And the many things we don't even recognize that we do and we are for so many and for ourselves. Anyone else? Yes.
In that same vein, I think I need to accomplish a lot of this. I need to really know more about my strengths and my weaknesses, things that I go through life and may not be conscious of.
Might not be conscious of his gifts and what he needs to learn to go through life and really live a fulfilling life. A life well lived. A life well lived. With so many people who are leaving this planet, and it seems like an awful lot are leaving at this time, an awful lot. Have they lived their life full out? Have they squeezed every inch of joy and accomplishment for themselves, not to anyone else, into their lives? Lived a life that was worth living. That's the greatest way to leave this planet anyway. Anyone else? One more? We have time for one more share. and so all the rest are private. And I'm hoping you at home are visioning with us. And visioning is not a one-shot deal, okay? It's something that we can incorporate as part of our practice. We can do it daily, we can do it weekly, we can do it monthly. But it's something that really directs our life. It's like punching in the GPS of where we're going. I mean, if we don't know where we're going and we don't have a map or a GPS, as Yogi Bear said, you'll find yourself somewhere else. You won't even know where you are. You just be driving around, and now lots of times that's how we live our lives. We sit down in this process and we see what comes up, and sometimes the most amazing things come up that we don't even consciously bring into our awareness. And what comes up when we really let go is the divine within us that is yearning to express through us. Because we all have that divine yearning, that divine purpose within us. We all do. And it takes sometimes moving beyond your comfort zone. It's really nice and comfy here. I'm real familiar with all this stuff. You know, I don't need to do that. I mean, that would require me to step out into this unknown, which is, as we all know, that's where the divine resides, is in the unknown. It's all there. The universal support is always present. So it takes courage sometimes to move beyond your comfort zone. The good news is that you already have a rich and powerful potential within you. There is nothing that is impossible in our lives. There truly is not. And so this is all waiting to be accepted, invited in, awakened, so that we can activate it in our lives. And the not so good news is that your fears and limitations, those beliefs, often block your awareness of your highest possibility. You know, we kind of get scared. We're not good enough. I'm not going to do it right. All this stuff that comes up. Who cares? If you do it right, if you don't do it right, just do it, right? Nike has the best expression they could be. Just do it. And that's it. Just do it. But sometimes those things hold us back and make it difficult to conceive living beyond the present, and it feels like limitation when there's so much more. So as you reach for a greater vision for your life in 2022, don't be surprised if those old fears and old beliefs reassert themselves. They might pop up again, you got that thing in your stomach, and those thoughts in your mind. But remember the words of Richard Bach. Argue for your limitations, and they are yours. So be aware of what we verbally say also. That is a natural part of the process. You might find yourself feeling sometimes doubtful, fearful, frustrated, or even unworthy of your vision. The thing to know is that your greater possibility lies on the other side of that fear. Once we move through that fear, embrace the fear even, okay, I recognize it, but you're not staying. It's like we say, you know, you're moving through hell, you don't stop and build a condo. You keep moving. You just keep moving through it, because that's where the greatest possibilities lie, on the other side of that fear. That's our highest good. And that's what we're claiming. If you don't know what else to claim, claim that my highest and best good is occurring in 2022. Just claim that for yourself, and the universe will deliver. The universe is God, is divinity. It will deliver. It always does. And then if you know prayer, any kind of prayer, use the prayer to release it at the end after you do your visioning. And remember that a higher idea always heals a lesser one. A higher idea always heals a lesser one. So think big. Act act big, whatever big means to you, your new vision for your life, and trust and believe and know that it absolutely is coming into fruition in this year, in this new year. And gradually, it will erase any doubt and fears and false beliefs that stand in its way. So take time to pause into the present, to go within, to touch that great universal sea of pure creativity that is within each and every one of us. We are each, that's the highest purpose we could do, is to create. Whatever we create lives, we create spaces that we live in, we create music, we create so many beautiful things in our lives. So, what I want to do is I want to end this visioning treatment, this visioning process with a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer right now. So I ask you to join me in this prayer. So just close your eyes again. And we open our mind, our souls, our very being to the infinite potential that lies within us. That seed is awakened and blossoms into the most beautiful vision in our lives. That we feel the joy, the excitement, the vitality of moving forward in our lives into the greatest expression of who we are. For the divine is always expressing itself through creation. Creates all that is, was, and ever shall be. And it creates in perfection, in harmony, in peace with its own self. There is no chaos in the mind of the divine. No chaos, only peace, only harmony, only the good of God expressing as life. And life is what we are. We are each one of us expressing individually. We are individual expressions of this one light of God. I am light, as the song said. I am the light of God. We are the light of God. And so I claim that each one is moving forward in their lives, shining their radiant light, allowing the absolute gifts that we have been endowed with, that lie sometimes dormant within us, to be ignited and expressed in our lives, so that we may move forward in comfort in our body, in peace in our minds, and in inspiration. I give thanks for this spiritual teaching, that I know that we live our lives by this spiritual knowing that we are eternal beings of the light. I give thanks for all of these tools that we have so that we can move forward and claim our divinity and express our divinity and share our divinity. We are the light of God. For this, I am so grateful. And in that gratitude, then I release this word into the law of universal mind. This word that cannot come back void. It must be made manifest by right of consciousness. And so I know that each one here is in their perfect place, on their perfect path, and embracing a great vision for 2022. And so